thank you all for being here. This is casual and nice. Very cool. I was just looking at a picture there. First, it looks like I'm wearing lipstick, but I'm just wondering, maybe Isabella's already kissed me, like this is the next take or the third take. Or maybe Dennis Hopper will kiss me, I can't. But behind us, you see those green plants. Those were David's plants. And at the end of the filming, he took them back and he charged me with taking care of them. So I had those plants on my mantle in my apartment back in Los Angeles. So it's kind of strange to see them here again. Anyway, what can I say about the film? This was when did we start this filming? I think it was 85. So this is my second film. And my second film with David. We did Dune together in '83, and then while I was filming Dune, he gave me the script, Blue Velvet, and I read the script, and it was, I remember being scared. I remember being kind of, I felt it was somewhat erotic and kind of exciting, confusing. Just many, many things. And the story goes that I had the script, and so movies were a pretty new thing still for me at that time, and so I wanted to share it with my family. So I said, Mom, Dad, you gotta read this great script. So my dad read it, he was like, that was great, it's fine. Mom read it, she's like, she was so disturbed by it that she couldn't talk to me, so she and my dad separated, so she had her husband talk to me about it, and said that she was really disturbed by it, and so I was like, wow, okay, and I was like, well, Mom, I'm sorry, I can't, okay, so I called David and said, David, this is really going to upset my mom, I can't do it. David was so understanding, he's like, okay, so it went on for, and they went off and tried to find somebody else for 3 or 4 months, and then finally I was like, I can't get it out of my head, and it's like, I sat down and said, Mom, it's going to be fine. You have to trust David. There were some very explicit things in the script, as you can imagine, so a lot of what you see was actually written out very specifically. So she said, okay. And I said to David, he said, I knew you were going to come around, I was just waiting for you. So I was like, all right. So off we went, and we filmed in North Carolina, and we had such a lovely time. I mean, I know it's hard to imagine that, but we became a little family. David Lynch, Isabella, myself, Dennis Hopper, Laura Dern, Dean Stockwell, Brad Dourif, Zach Nance, everybody. We really just had fun. I mean, there were a few pretty tense days, particularly with Isabella and Dennis, because of the stuff that they had to do. But by and large, we just we laughed a lot. And the film has got a lot of humor in it, but it's, you'll see it, and I'm sure many of you have already seen it. It's very intense. David is, I can't say enough great things about David Lynch. He's just an extraordinary filmmaker. There's nobody like him. Nobody has the same vision. No one has the same kind of rhythms that David has, the same way he uses music and sound. He's just very particular, and this film, I think, is really a very pure David Lynch experience. And I'm probably biased, but I really feel this is one of his best from my perspective. Trying to think of anything else I can say, little stories or something. This scene, the one that comes to mind is when you'll see it. Most people have seen it. Am I going to ruin this for anybody? Probably. No? Anyone who has not seen it? Okay, so there's a few. Okay, there's a sequence in there where Isabella is revealed. And anyone, I don't want to say that much. And Prior to that scene, the little city, it wasn't even a city block, it was very rural, a town block. Everyone had come out to watch the filming in their lawn chairs. They were setting up, and it was kind of fun because the circus had come to town. And so we all knew what was about to happen, and no one really knew what to do. And Isabella was just, it'll be fine, let's just go forward, which we did. And the next day, they passed an ordinance saying that you couldn't do what we did. Keep it, on the streets. So we changed the community forever. It was a pretty special little film, and for David, it was a wonderful return to some place where I think he was more comfortable after having filmed Dune, which was just a really huge undertaking, so many moving parts, and this was much more intimate, and I think I think he felt more comfortable in this world and what he was working in, and I think it's inherent in the film. Before we get started, I mean, I have to get going, but any questions or thoughts, or we'll just take a couple, right? Okay? Yeah.
So you're going back to revisit some Peaks very, very soon. We're all pretty excited about it.
Yes.
What kind of things are stirring up? Now you're back to getting all back together. How does it feel like to be the people that you had such a moment those years?
In Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
It is so early in the process, and it's so, I can't really tell. I mean, we just started again the moving forward on it. So come this fall, September or October, somewhere in there, we'll begin shooting, and I'll have a better sense of it. But right now, it's just you know as much as I know about what's about to happen. Yes.
Did your mother write about it?
Well, this is going to sound a little strange, but my mom had cancer, and she actually passed away, thankfully, before Blue Velvet. But I'm sure she's laughing. She got a pretty good sense, So it was, it would have been challenging for her to have seen this. The town where I came from, Yakima, a small town. They put on a good face. But it's a pretty small town, pretty conservative town, so I think most people were a little stunned, at what they saw. That's okay.
You can only take one more question.
How old were you when you shot Blue Velvet? And what town in North Carolina?
Okay, so I think it was 25. I think it was 25 or 26 when we shot that. It was in the summer. And we shot in, where did we shoot? We shot that in Ivory Coast.
The year? Shot in 85.
We done 85.
Yeah.
Do you remember where we shot? We shot in
Wilmington.
Yes, Wilmington. I want to say Williamsburg right now. So Wilmington, in North Carolina, and it was beautiful. We actually there was a hurricane that threatened to come through. And so we all gathered at the bed and breakfast where Laura Dern and Isabella were staying. And I remember Dennis Hopper showing up on the doorstep with the suitcases because he wasn't staying downtown near the water or like the Hilton or something like that. And he wanted to check into the. I was thinking about Dennis Hopper with suitcases, wanted to check into the bed and breakfast and see. Anyway, well, I hope you enjoyed them. I think it's pretty spectacular, and you will definitely be moved and altered by it. But thanks again for coming, and I'm so glad everyone's here. Ariel and her family are here. You're big friends. Yay!
As a special token of our appreciation, we wanted to present you with a membership to the Rubin Museum of Art, and also a catalog for our very first catalog, Worlds of Transformation.
Thank you very much.
And
I've seen the program.
yes, Worlds of Transformation, yeah. And I just wanted to encourage anyone who's not a member here at the museum to consider joining us, where evenings like this are free, and you get a 10% discount upstairs at the gift shop, and many other wonderful benefits. Next week's Cabaret Cinema is Brazil, and it's being introduced by writer and BuzzFeed News editor Mark Schutz. Thank you very much, and enjoy Blue Velvet.